French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian said North Korea appeared bent on boosting its nuclear capability despite sending up mixed signals. Pyongyang has attempted to thaw relations in recent days during talks with South Korea. South Korean President Moon Jae-in said a thaw in relations between the two Koreas ahead of next month's Winter Olympics presented a precious chance for the United States and North Korea to discuss the North's weapons programs. But North Korea continues to develop missile and nuclear technology amid regular threats to destroy the United States and Japan, and in defiance of UN Security Council resolutions, prompting a war of words between the North and the United States. North Korea appeared bent on boosting its nuclear capability, says French Minister Mr Le Drian told the French daily Le Figaro. We've been receiving contradictory signals. We have Kim Jong-un's suggestion earlier this month that North and South Korea open dialogue on easing military tensions, and for the North to participate in the Winter Olympics in the South. We can only be thrilled by this new stance, but Mr. Kim has also reiterated his intention to mass-produce nuclear warheads and missiles. We must continue to encourage negotiations to bring about the denuclearisation of the Korean peninsula, while remaining firm on sanctions. After a year of mounting tension, diplomacy focused on sport enabled the International Olympic Committee to announce on Saturday that reclusive North Korea will send 22 athletes to the Feb 9-25 Games. French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian. The Olympics provided a precious chance to open the door for talks to resolve the nuclear issue and establish peace on the peninsula, Moon said at the presidential Blue House. Some specific Olympic plans, including marching under a united flag and forming a joint women's ice hockey team, have proven controversial, with conservatives and younger South Koreans upset that an unchastened North Korea is stealing the spotlight. But North Korea's state media criticized South Korea for having joined last week's meeting of 20 nations in Vancouver, which called for additional sanctions and pressure on the North to ensure it gives up its nuclear ambitions. The North's official KCNA said in a commentary, "This is an unpardonable provocation going against the aspiration and desire of all Koreans for the country's peace and reunification, and aggravating the regional situation." Mr. Le Drian also commented on the nuclear deal struck between Iran and 6 world powers in 2015, saying that France would not give in to US President Donald Trump's calls to renegotiate the landmark accord. North Korea continues to develop missile and nuclear technology in defiance of UN resolutions. We must continue to encourage negotiations to bring about the denuclearisation of the Korean peninsula, while remaining firm on sanctions. French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian, he said, France's position is one of firmness and stability goes hand in hand with respect. He said, stressing that Tehran was honouring the agreement. The deal is robust, and stops Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons, which would have devastating consequences on the prospects for stability in the Middle East. If a country goes back on the accord, they will do nothing but undermine its terms, he continued, before calling for Tehran to drop its ballistic missile program. If Iran wants to return to the global stage, it must first be open to talks about its ballistic missile arsenal. Thursday, January 11, 2018, a female soldier on duty in high heels, because if Tehran refuses to engage in talks, others will always suspect that its nuclear program is geared towards weapon development. The foreign minister also weighed in on the situation in Syria, saying that the creation of a stable political environment was key to paving the road for elections. On Sunday, France called for a United Nations Security Council meeting over humanitarian risks following alarming reports of fresh fighting in the region. France is very preoccupied by the situation in Syria and by the brutal degradation of the situation, Mr. Le Drian said on the sidelines of a meeting for Western Mediterranean countries in Algiers, Algeria. North Korea will send 22 athletes to the Winter Olympics in South Korea. This is why we have called for a Security Council meeting to evaluate all the humanitarian risks, which are very serious, he said. France's proposal came after Turkey launched an operation to remove Kurdish forces from the northern Syrian town of Afrin on Saturday. Mr. Le Drian commented on the Syrian crisis, expressing concern over the brutal degradation of the situation after fresh fighting broke out in the region.